Hi, this is Norma Collins from Norma's Creative Art, and today I'm a beginner in pouring, and I've been watching the YouTubes. So today I'm going to attempt a wave by doing it two different ways. I've prepared two canvases, and I've been watching them do the hair dryer where they blow it, the Dutch pour, and I've been watching them how they move it, and I've been watching several things, but I was fascinated in this one where they use saran wrap and they put it down. So I'm actually going to attempt a wave in saran wrap. So I've got two canvases, so I'm going to do it two different ways. And under my board, under here I have a board. So I have a heavy surface under there. I'm just going to try to get this as level as I can. Now, one of the things that you do need to do is decide and then tape it down, because I don't want it moving after I get my paint down. So I'm going to put it out, and I want to put it a little bit bigger than the canvas. I'm going to look at the canvas. I got a boo-boo on this one, but that's okay because I'm going to cover it. And that one's going to be fine. You're going to make sure that Padre Island Gallery, it's a new gallery over in Corpus Christi at the island, and a lady named Vanessa, she's a teacher, was actually demonstrating Dutch pour. And I was so fascinated in it, I went and took two of her classes. And I loved it. And I've been watching YouTubes. I've been watching Molly's Artistry. I've been watching Jelly Cube. I've been watching some I forget the names of. There's just so many artists out there having fun with the acrylic pour. And what I'm using today is a very conglomerate of colors because I tried to pour yesterday, and my problem is I get carried away with things. So I don't leave them alone. What I'm going to do on the first canvas, I'm going to give it a little base coat. I'm not going to make it as like you're going to do a Dutch pour. I'm just putting some paint on to cover the canvas, because when I turn it upside down, this one's going to have some paint on it. So I'm just going to cover the canvas. I could use it with a brush. I could use it with my fingers. I just want to cover the canvas and cover the sides. So give it a base coat, because remember, this is the first time I'm doing this, and I really enjoy trying the different things that people are doing on YouTube. So I've been watching YouTube and saying, oh, I can do that, and then I go in and I try it, and of course I don't get it like that, and then I wipe it off, and I've got some behind me that I'll show you, that some of my tries. And I don't want this real thick because I'm going to put it upside down. I'm just trying to cover the canvas with a layer. So I want a thin layer. I do not want a bunch of paint on it at all. I'm just putting a thin layer. And I'm going to set it aside. So I want to make sure that this is level. So what I have found so far that I've done is I've come in and I have something going that I really think I like, and then I touch it and ruin it. So today I've bound and determined that whatever I do, I'm going to take and leave it alone. So whether it be good or bad, I can always scrape it off. As Jelly Cube says, she's from Australia. She says it's only paint, so you can do whatever you want. Now that gave me an idea of where that canvas is by doing that too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be. So I'm thinking of where I want the sky color or blue, the negative what I want to leave negative. So I want to pour it into that area. And I want to make sure that I'm covering this one up over here, because this is where I really want the negative to be mostly level. And I'm not going to blow it. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to turn it upside down, and I'm going to leave whatever comes out comes out. Okay, and now I'm going to start with my dark. And I love this color. This is a sapphire. And you can see I had problems with getting my thickness right. And I'm hoping that by taping this, I'm actually being able to show my teacher the thickness of my paint. So I'm going to put this on where I want the wave, So I want some darks, and where I want the darks is where I want this. I want it here in this corner, and I want it to come down. So I have lots of colors, so I'm going to put lots of colors in. Now I have this is a mixture of aquamarine and some greens and a little bit of white, just a touch of white. I wanted to put some color in that's almost like a cerulean green, because that's what here around Corpus, our water has a little bit of green tint to it. So I want to get that in there. This is an 11 by 14 canvas. It's not a very big canvas. We're going to see how this works. I've never tried this before, so we're going to put some blues in. We're going to put some purples in. We're going to put some whites in. We're just going to really have fun. And the main thing in doing this is fun. This is I'm a tax preparer by profession. And so this has been a stress relief for me. I've come back here and tried to pour, and I'm going to put a little bit of this. This is a sapphire. This was a kit I got from Hobby Lobby that had 4 pre-pours. It had purples, it had violet, it had 2 blues, had 4. It was pre-mixed, and I thought that I would try it. It was on sale, half price. That's when I like to get them. So, okay. And what I really would like to do is I'd like to put a little bit of purple in there. The reason I want to get the purples in there is as the sunlight hits, I want a little bit of purple here and over here. I'm going to put some yellows. I want to put a little bit of yellow in here and a little bit of yellow right in here as the wave, where the wave would crest. Okay. Now I'm going to put a little bit more of this. I might have to mix up a little bit more, but I want a little bit more of this in this negative space, because I don't want this particular space to be all white. And of course with this one, it's not going to be all white. I think I'll mix up a little bit more of this. This color is Vision. It's I don't have a lot in here, and so I'm going to have to scrape the bottle of this one. I also add a little white in there, and I added a little bit of painting medium in here. So this will in my jar of this.
Paint all over them. Now let's see what that mixture is going to be. Even if it's a little lighter, that doesn't bother me, because
a little bit thin. And I'm going to mix it in with this other, so it should blend fine. And I don't mind that it's lighter because it'll just blend in. Now I'm going to come in with a white, and I'm not going to put too much white in there because the white tends to bleed. Oh, I have one more color I want to put in there, and that's just a teeny bit of silver. This silver is Liquitex Basics, and it gives it a little a different look when you can mix the silver with the paint. So I'm coming in with the silver just a little bit. Now in the white, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to think of where the wave would crest. So I want it in the inside of my wave, and maybe to the outside of my wave here. And I'm going to bring it a little bit here. And I'm going to bring it down in here to make it look like waves are cresting. I love the colors already. Well, we're going to see what we get. We're going to see if this works or not. It's always up to trying. I watched Jelly Cube last night, and she was doing she had one of the doggy bathtubs, and she was doing a spin, a flower spin. It didn't work at all, not at all. So she ended up wiping it, pouring several times, and then wiping it off. And she can always, she'll do a balloon kiss on things, and that's where she takes a balloon and she just dips it in the paper up there. I'm going to push down. I'm going to rub my hands, that's why I wanted them clean. I want to push my paint into this canvas. I want my paint to absorb. You can see I'm pushing out. You can see the paint on the sides. I'm pushing out. I'm trying to make sure, I'm even going to squish it a little bit. I'm trying to make sure that I get every area of the canvas. I'm going to let it sit and soak in for a few minutes. I have lots of paint on because it's oozing out. It's really pretty over here where it's oozing out. So let's see if we created a wave or if we just have a pretty mess. A pretty mess. That one did not create what I thought, but it's not the effect I want. So now I'm going to come back in and try to, because I've got a lot of paint on there, a lot of pretty paint. So I'm going to try to come in and maybe just drizzle some paint on there and see what we come up with the other canvas. You never know what you're going to get until you try. I'm going to put some paint up here because this is really pretty up there. I want to use that area. So to use that area, of course, I'm going to have to put some paint over here in this area. And just use all this paint up. Oh, I love that pinks and stuff. So Who knows what this will look like. If I had a bubble wrap under here instead of just the cellophane, I would have really had a pretty, so I'm going to just drizzle it all over the place and see what we come up with. Who knows? Who knows? What do I have left? I have some sapphire. Not a lot, just a little bit. Just a little bit. I don't have a lot of it. Okay, do we have anything? I have white. There's a little bit of white, and I have a little bit of silver. I think I have a little bit of silver left. Oh, we could really go bananas in this one. Okay, I'm going to drizzle a little bit of white in because I might end up taking a hairdryer to that other one and seeing what I can come up with as far as okay. Okay, now get up into that area up there. So we're going to push it down. Getting a lot of pretty colors coming out. If they would be that pretty on the canvas, that would be really nice. Oh, that's pretty. That's pretty. I'm going to try to move some of the colors around and off the canvas. You can see how pretty you can dip your ends in your paint and have really pretty sides. These push pins are kind of handy because you've got a handle. Now I'm going to push them down in here. And look at that. And I'm going to push them over here. Those sides are absolutely gorgeous. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to turn this canvas back over and see if I can get some of that colors, the same colors, into here because they are just gorgeous. Oh, look at that move. That is just pretty. Maybe I didn't get a wave, but I did get something very pretty. I'm letting this come like that because I'm going to move some of the paint down. It's got bubbles. It's bubbling. So I'm going to move some of the paint from the top, the colors down. Definitely going to have to blow the torch on this one. Well, you know, it's not the best. Let's see if I can slide it a little bit this way. I wonder what would happen if I blew it out with my hair dryer. So I'm going to take and move this. I'm going to move this and throw it in the garbage. A lot of pretty paints on it though. No, don't need it. Okay. I am going to take the blow dryer and I am going to see what I can do with this. And I need to get that bubble out. And there it's popped. There it's popping. They're both popping. Okay. We are going to try just something to see if this would be prettier by taking the hair dryer to it, just blowing it just a little bit. I know I have a lot of paint on there, so this over here I could have actually used some of that pretty paint. So we're gonna see if it'll move. Well, that is very different, and I'm actually going to kind of get some of these colors out because this side over here did not get a good coat, so I'm going to just dip my finger in it and give it a little bit of paint. This side is absolutely gorgeous, so I don't really want to mess this side up. So I'm going to come around and I'm going to look at this side to see if it needs anything. Just a touch or two. Probably right here. So, you know, even though you don't start out with what you might want to end up with, it's kind of pretty. It wouldn't be what I would have started out with, but most of mine do not start out and end the same. This is when I would have, if I said I wasn't going to mess with things, I would have tried to put some of the color back in it. As vibrant as that one is over there, I would have tried to maybe come in and put a little bit of this sapphire blue in it. I drizzled it in there, and I don't know what will happen if I drizzle some in there. It's not drizzling, is what. I do love this blue the way it. So if I can't blow with my mouth very good because I don't have the breath because of asthma. So I have to use, I did get a little blow dryer today in the from Amazon, but I can't get it open to put a battery in. So let's see what this one is. Differently. So you can see that you can squiggle it around. This was the first one I did on the bubble wrap. This one was the second one I did with the bubble wrap. And this was the third one I did with the bubble wrap. And I touched this at the end so it has a little bit of a texture. So that's very much different. This is also the canvas where I pressed the canvas, and I just did canvas against canvas and not against the not against a saran wrap. So I put it on one canvas and then pulled it up. So this is what it was from there. So you can see where you have a lot of fun, and you get different effects every time. Now I also tried to do some Christmas things, and these are little wooden Christmas decorations from Hobby Lobby, and I put it in the bubble wrap, just drizzled the colors in the bubble wrap and dipped it on there. Actually, I think I drizzled it on a canvas, so, and then dipped it on there, and I think that came out really pretty. So you have all kinds of things that you can do, and I hope you enjoyed watching. Okay, this is the finished dried piece, and as you can see, it's the second one. The first one I did scrape off. This one turned out real well, so I'm going to leave it. I hope you enjoyed watching what I did. Please hit like if you did, and come back and be with me and see what I do the next day. Thank you.